الإذاعة التعليمية من القاهرة. أعزائنا المستمعين، أبناءنا وبناتنا طلاب وطالبات الثانوية العامة، أسعد الله أوقاتكم بكل خير. الآن أعزائنا يحين موعدنا ولقاؤنا مع الفترة المفتوحة أستاذ على الهواء في مادة اللغة الإنجليزية للثانوية العامة. وفي مستهل اللقاء نرحب بضيفنا الكريم الأستاذ أحمد عبد الصبور، خبير المادة في وزارة التربية والتعليم. أهلا بكم مستر أحمد.
أهلا بكم أستاذ حازم وبأبنائنا الطلبة والطالبات.
نرحب
بخير.
وهم بخير وأنت بخير ومصر كلها بخير وصحة وسلامة إن شاء الله. يعني نرحب بكل أبنائنا وبناتنا اللي بيرغبوا في التواصل مع حضرتك على تليفون الإذاعة التعليمية المباشر 257 96 140، وتليفونات سويتش الإذاعة 257 57 210 257 57 155 257 87 120 والداخلي 3209. معكم على الهواء من أسرة الهندسة الإذاعية. نرحب بالزميل محمد جمال الدين، ومعكم على الهواء من أمام الميكروفون حازم عمر. أستاذ أحمد، أهلا بك مرة أخرى معنا.
أهلا بكم أستاذ حازم.
إن شاء الله النهاردة برضو في طور المراجعات.
نعم، نستكمل يونت 13 14 and 15.
Yes.
إن شاء الله. Let's begin with the main vocab in unit 13. Birth, marriage and death are the most important space in a human life. Choices: A. Episodes. B. Incidents. C. Happenings. D. Events. The correct answer is events. Yes, birth, marriage and death are the most important events in a human life. Sentence number 2. They will space the New Year's Day under the foot of the pyramids. Choices: A. Tribute. B. Condole. C. Celebrate. D. Contribute. The correct answer is celebrate, بمعنى يحتفل. Another sentence. Space can be dangerous, so they shouldn't be given to young children. Choices: A. Firestorms. B. Fireworks. C. Firefighters. D. Firesides. The correct answer is B. Fireworks. الألعاب النارية. Another sentence. The Eiffel Tower is the most important space of Paris. Choices: A. Landmark. B. Landlady. C. Firework. D. Landlord. The correct answer is landmark. قلنا بمعنى علامة بارزة. Another sentence. The festival will open with a space led by the mayor. The festival will open with a space led by the mayor. Choices: A. Processor. B. Prohibition. C. Production. D. Procession. The correct answer is procession, بمعنى موكب. Another sentence. It's her space to ensure the project finishes on time. Choices: A. Sensibility. B. Ability. C. Responsibility. D. Disability. The correct answer is responsibility. When I got the job, we space by going out for a meal. When I got the job, we space by going out for a meal. Choices: A. Celebrated. B. Seized. C. Contributed. D. Checked. The correct answer is A. Celebrated. Another sentence. Well, I have found our space on the map if you want to see where we are. Choices: A. Attitude. B. Situation. C. Opposition. D. Position. The correct answer is D. Position. Another sentence. Rababa is the space music of people in Upper Egypt. Rababa is the space music of people in Upper Egypt. Choices: A. Glaring. B. Bale, C. Folk, D. Fork. The correct answer is folk music. الموسيقى الشعبية. Another sentence. The hotel bedrooms space in size from medium to very large. Choices: A. Vary, B. Differentiate, C. Various, D. Different. The correct answer is vary بمعنى يتنوع أو يختلف. When his performance started to space we were very pleased. When his performance started to space we were very pleased. Choices: A. Developed, B. Revolved, C. Involved, D. Evolved. The correct answer is D. Evolved. قلنا evolve بمعنى يتطور. Another sentence. What made him popular was that his space style in writing novels. What made him popular was that his space style in writing novels. Choices: A. Instructive, B. Extinct, C. Distinctive, D. Deductive. The correct answer is distinctive بمعنى مميز. Distinctive style in writing. Another sentence. I'd love to go to the Cannes film space. Choices: A. Serial, B. Festival, C. Aid, D. Incident. The correct answer is festival بمعنى مهرجان. Another sentence. When did the accident take space? Choices: A. Place, B. In, C. Over, D. Board. The correct answer is A. Place. Take place بمعنى يحدث. Another sentence. They made space a song to celebrate their great victories. They made space a song to celebrate their great victories. Choices: A. Of, B. For, C. From, D. Up. The correct answer is Up. شم النسيم space the beginning of spring. شم النسيم space the beginning of spring. Choices: A. Watches, B. Remarks, C. Marks, D. Notices. The correct answer is marks. يميز the beginning of spring. الو السلام عليكم. ازيك يا ام؟ الله يخليك. الحمد لله، كل سنه وانت طيب. طيب معاكي اسئله يا امنا؟
معايا شويه اسئله كده.
طيب اتفضلي، بس علي الصوت شويه يا ام.
حاضر. اول سؤال.
اتفضلي.
ذا
بريد. قولي سبين كده يا امنا.
اللي هو الكوبري.
بريدج. يس. سبيس.
is near.
is
near.
ميل.
near.
مير. M-E-R-E.
near. N-E-A-R.
is near. Yes.
my house.
by house.
is more than.
is more than
200.
200
years old.
years old. اتفضلي التشويسز اللي عندك كده يا امنه.
that.
that.
to which.
to which.
where.
what. what. The bridge that's near by house. nearby house. near my house. الإجابة الصح that is near my house is more than 200 years old.
طب ليه ما قلناش where او to which؟
أنا بتكلم على الكوبري هنا كمكان، مش بتكلم عنه يعني كشيء فاعل subject. تمام، مش بتكلم عنه كمكان كشيء. the bridge that's near my house. تمام. لكن ممكن اقول the bridge is the place where the accident happened مثلا. هنا بتكلم عنه كمكان،
فهمت كده.
فهنا استخدم كلمة الوصل where. تمام.
سؤال كمان.
اتفضلي يا أم.
school.
علي الصوت معلش يا أم شوية.
هو مش عارفة school.
قولي سبيلنج كده.
school اللي هي المدرسة.
سكول.
space.
ذا سكول ولا سكول على طول؟
لا school على طول.
space.
reported.
reported.
then.
that.
أو that
that مش كده؟
20%
20%
of young pupils
of young pupils were unable to eat.
read or write.
To read or write, yes. choices. inspector.
بس فيها اس.
inspectors المفتشين. investigators.
conductor.
وبعدين conductors.
كده
researchers. الإجابة الصح هنا ايه؟ انت شايفاها ايه؟ مش inspectors؟
أنا كنت شاكة في inspector و
investigator المتحري. اللي بيتحرى في قضية مثلا. لكن هنا المرتبط بالمدرسة هم مين؟ inspectors المفتشين أو الموجهين. تمام؟ جملة تانية. the product المنتج مش كده؟ space on TV
is 2 hours in 2 hours
on TV into
وبعد كده 2 hours
in 2 hours.
خلاص هي الchoice was
the product الجملة تاني space on TV in 2 hours.
ليه 2 ليه رقم 2 يعني.
ايوه تمام كده الجملة مفيش فيها verb.
ما انا لسه هقوله بقى. was advertised.
advertised. وhas advertised. will be advertised. on TV in 2 hours. الجملة تاني the product space on TV in 2 hours. تمام؟ will be advertised on TV in 2 hours. سيعلن عنه في خلال ساعتين. تمام؟ في جملة تاني؟
معلش
اتفضل. لا مفيش مشكلة. أول الجملة سبيس. بعد السبيس an accident.
كده question mark.
someone said she is in hospital. تمام. choices بقى had has she had does she have had she had did she have. Someone said she is in hospital. Does she have الجملة تاني an accident space someone said she is in hospital. تمام؟ Someone said she is in hospital. متأكدة ان she is ولا she was؟
هي أبوستروف إس.
يعني apostrophe s. كنت تقولي لي انها apostrophe s مش is. تمام؟
تمام.
طيب هنا الإجابة الصح Does she have an accident? Someone said she is in a hospital. تمام؟
طب هي ليه ما تبقاش ده على أساس إن هي عملت الحادثة بعد كده راحت المستشفى؟ يعني
هي عملت الحادثة؟
فتبقى ماضي وبعد كده هي راحت بقى المستشفى، صح؟
وهذا شي هاد مستر أحمد على أساس إنه الحدث حصل ونتيجته موجودة لسه.
Someone said she is in hospital.
يعني هي دلوقتي في المستشفى. يبقى الحدث حصل وأثره موجود.
كأنها present perfect لسه الحدث حدث دلوقتي.
حصل ونتيجته لازالت موجودة. She has had an accident. Someone said
she is in hospital. هي الجملة فيها برضو بعض يعني الاحتمالات
احتمالات
كتيرة صحيحة. هي دي المشكلة ما فيهاش إيحاء بحاجة معينة يعني ممكن تبقى هي إجابة يعني قاطعة. لأن حتى said she is in hospital المفروض بقى someone said she is in hospital. فهنا ممكن تبقى does she have أو has she had. زي ما حازم بيقول ممكن نستخدم زي present perfect عن الحدث لسه حاصل دلوقتي.
موجودة أثره موجود لازال أثره موجود.
فهنخليها has she had اللي هي present perfect فعلا أقرب إجابة للصح. has she had an accident someone said she
موجود. الحدث حدث في الماضي من غير ما نحدد وقته. والأثر موجود.
لما يكون مفيش حدث إيحاء بزمن معين يعني نستخدم البريزنت سيمبل يعني نستخدم بريزنت بيرفكت.
مفيش تايم ريفرنس هنا.
مفيش هنا تايم ريفرنس. يعني نستخدم البريزنت سيمبل يعني البريزنت بيرفكت.
I think it's the correct answer. It's the best answer. She has had.
ممكن has she had. وعلى فكرة الإجابة الثانية برضو تحتمل صح لأن does she have someone said she is in hospital. تمام. هنا كأن الابوستروف اس هنا اختصار لوز وكان البريزنت سيمبل تحول لباست سيمبل.
الابوستروف اس اختصار
ممكن تبقى اختصار لوز برضو. يعني said she was in hospital. فممكن كانت بريزنت سيمبل وتحولت لباست سيمبل. فهنا الإجابتين قد يستخدموا present simple و present perfect. تمام يا منى؟
تمام.
قولي الجملة اللي بعد كده عندك. that
ها. بعد كده في كلمة FU.
ذا وبعدين SU.
FU.
FUNE.
فانل القمع.
تاني سبيلين كده يا منى.
FUNN.
لا FUNE.
ها.
RAN.
funeral الجنازة.
funeral الجنازة. ها. space. made. made. بعدين.
its way made its way
يعني. its way down.
down the ايه؟
the hill.
to the. كده في كلمة ثانية
SE. CE.
ceremony. symmetry.
CE تاني كده. symmetry. اللي هو المدفن او الجبانة زي ما بنقول يعني. position. landmark
ورو.
ورو ROW. في بروسيشن.
في مثلا.
دي آخر اختيار صح؟
That's the correct answer.
في بروسيشن هي الإجابة الصح. The funeral procession اللي هو الموكب الجنائزي يعني أو موكب الجنازة.
تمام.
تمام؟
تمام. في بقى كده فولك سونج.
فوك سونجز.
كان.
فوك سونجز الأغاني الشعبية مش كده؟
كان sometimes.
Can sometimes
help workers.
help workers
get.
help workers get
space.
space
their work.
their work. تمام. قولي choices كده يا يمنى.
across.
across
وout.
وout
وthrough.
through THROUGH
وup.
وأب. الإجابة الصح get through يجتازوا يعني أو ينجحوا فيه. get through. تمام؟
تمام.
في جملة تاني؟
معلش كتار شوية.
لا ولا يهمك عادي.
the new economic.
the new economic changes are وبعدين قولي سبين كده. ها؟
بعد كده
REEN real حقيقي يعني. طيب. space to everyone who has children of school age. اتفضلي. concern appeal admiration excitement. The new economic changes are real وبعدين to everyone who has children of school age. concern اهتمام حقيقي. تمام؟ الجملة اللي بعدها يوم. in many public places we find space built to celebrate important persons or events. تمام. In many public places we find built to celebrate important persons or events. قولي choices كده يا يمنى. mountains جبال يعني. mountains وايه تاني؟ moment ولا monuments آثار؟
الاثنين موجودين.
اما هو NU MENTS ومومنتس اللي هي معنى لحظات.
والميموري.
memory. In many public places we find built to celebrate. طبعا هنا monuments آثار. monuments آثار. تمام؟
يعني آثار عشان
هي اللي مبنية، هي اللي بتبنى. تمام؟ عشان تحتفلي بأشخاص بتلاقي له أثر مثلا أو تمثال أو حدث بتلاقي له تمثال كده. تمام؟
تمام. في أسئلة بقى في الجرامر.
اتفضلي.
you
space where WHERE.
لا where اللي هي يرتدي.
where اللي ما يرتدي. your best clothes. You went.
will
You will
get them dirty.
get them
dirty.
dirty. قولي choices كده.
mustn't
mustn't
needn't
needn't
وبعد كده didn't have to
didn't have to
وhas to.
و had to. You will get them dirty. ماشي. هي التكملة you will get them dirty مش كده؟
دي جملة ثانية، يعني هو في جملة وكانت الجملة دي
ما بس كلها جملة واحدة.
في النص نقطة.
أيوة يعني بس هي كلها جملة واحدة يعني رقم مثلا واحد كلها جملة واحدة صح؟ mustn't wear your best clothes. You will get them dirty. هنا تمام؟
بعد كده
يوسف space
go to the bank.
go to the bank.
full stop.
full stop.
he hasn't
he hasn't
got any money.
he hasn't got anyone. mustn't
had to
had to has to
we needn't
we needn't
و doesn't have to.
و doesn't have to مش كده؟ go to the bank he hasn't got any money. has to ما هنا ضرورة لازم يروح البنك عشان ما معهوش أي فلوس. has to تعبر عن necessity in the present. معايا يا منى؟
انا ما فهمتهاش كده، انا فهمت ان هو مش مضطر انه يروح البنك، ما عندوش فلوس في البنك.
he hasn't got any money معهوش فلوس دلوقتي فهو المفروض يروح البنك يسحب يعني. يبقى has to go to the bank. تمام؟ وبعدين في نقطة تانية ما هي didn't بتساوي doesn't have to.
ما انا حسبت كده برضه.
فهو الاتنين كده يبقى ما ينفعوش. قولي الجملة اللي بعدها كده. you space your best clothes you can wear
what you like.
what you like. had to
و
have to
و
mustn't
we needn't.
طب هنا didn't مش محتاج انك تلبس افضل الملابس تقدر تلبس اللي انت عايزه. تمام؟
يعني في الجملة اللي كانت قبل كده احنا قلنا مثلا عشان هدوم متسخة
هتتسخ فهنا كأنه بيقول له ما تعملش كده يعني بيحرم عليه كده والا هتتوسخ يعني. تمام؟
دي انا هنا بخيره شوية.
هنا بيخيروا you can wear what you like. فعشان كده مش بالضرورة تلبس افضل الملابس. ندن.
اخر سؤال.
قولي اتفضلي.
our phone
is ringing
then
is ringing وبعدين
النقطة كده then
بعد كده ايه؟
dad
space the phone bill ده الفاتورة يعني بي اي اللي مش كده؟ must have paid
و
should pay
و can't pay
و can't pay
و can't have paid.
و can't have paid. بص يا منى التليفون بتاعنا بيضرب يبقى ماشي. هقول والدي مش ممكن يكون دفع الفاتورة ولا أكيد دفع الفاتورة؟
أكيد دفع الفاتورة.
يعني التليفون اشتغل أهو.
ما هو أنا شايفة إيه
بيل يعني فاتورة. هي اللي كانت موقفاك صح؟ هي must have paid. تمام؟
تمام.
اتفضلي لو في جملة تانية اتفضلي.
لا شكرا.
كده خلاص؟
الحمد لله.
طيب اتفضلي معايا ولا ايه رأيك؟
ماشي.
ماشي. نكمل جمل في يونت 13.
Okay.
We will have a big party on the space of his success. Choices: A. Occasion, B. Happening, C. Festival, D. Opportunity.
Occasion.
Occasion تمام، بمعنى
بمناسبة.
مناسبة. Which space do you like playing? The flute. Which space do you like playing? The flute. Choices: A. Apartment, B. Instrument, C. Set, D. Device. Instrument بمعنى آلة موسيقية. تمام. Let's go to the grammar section. Choose the correct answer. Father promises space me if I get a high mark. Father promises space me if I get a high mark. Choices: A. To reward, B. Rewards, C. Reward, D. Rewarding.
To reward.
To reward. Yes, عشان الفيرب promise يجي بعد منه to plus infinitive. The referee threatens. referee بمعنى
الحكم.
threatens يهدد space the player if he makes another foul. Choices: A. Dismiss, B. To dismiss, C. Dismissing, D. To dismissing.
To dismiss.
To dismiss. تمام. لأن الverb threaten followed is followed by to plus infinitive. They postponed. Postpone بمعنى يؤجل. They postponed space the meeting until the manager's return. Choices: A. Held, B. Holding, C. Hold, D. To hold.
هي كانت كلمة ايه قلت؟
postpone يعني يؤجل
يبقى hold.
followed by verb plus ing. They postponed holding the meeting يعني أجلوا عقد الاجتماع. Fancy space in a big house by the Nile. Choices: living, or lived, or to live, or live.
هي كانت أول كلمة ايه؟
Fancy.
يعني ايه fancy؟
fancy يعني شيء خيالي، شيء رائع.
يبقى living.
living. fancy يعني يتخيل، ماشي، كفيرب أو شيء خيالي. هنا مستخدمة بمعنى كشيء خيالي إن الواحد يعيش في منزل كبير بجوار النيل. فهنا الإجابة بعد fancy الفيرب fancy بنستخدم verb plus ing. تمام. I don't enjoy space in a big company. I prefer being alone. I don't enjoy space in big company. I prefer being alone. Choices: A. Being, B. Be, C. To be, D. Being.
being.
تمام. Enjoy followed by verb plus ing. You should avoid بمعنى يتجنب space your brother while he is studying. Choices: A. Distributing, disturbing disturb بمعنى يزعج. A. Disturbing, yes, or disturbed, or to disturb, or disturbs. The correct answer: disturbing. Yes. The criminal admitted. criminal مجرم admitted يعني
ينكر.
اعترف. deny هي اللي ينكر. admit يعني يعترف. space the wealthy man and blackmailing him. blackmail بمعنى
blackmail.
blackmail يبتز. blackmail بمعنى يبتز. بتهيألي مرت عليكم في يونت من اليونتس.
مش عارف.
طيب نشوف ال choices. الجملة تاني. The sentence again. The criminal admitted space the wealthy man and blackmailing him. Choices: A. Threatening, B. Threaten, C. threatened. D. to threaten. threatening. تمام. It was thoughtless of him to refuse space the blind woman. It was thoughtless of him to refuse space the blind woman. Choices: A. help. B. to help. C. helps. D. helping. لا, refuse followed by to plus infinitive. refuse to help.
صح.
تمام. I still consider space my expenses to keep up with my salary. keep up with يعني يجاري يساير. yes. I still consider space my expenses. expenses بمعنى لا التانية expensive. أما expenses بمعنى المصاريف أو التكاليف. expenses EX B إلى EN SES expenses. تمام. I'll consider space my expenses to keep up with my salary. Choices: A. reduced. B. reduce. C. reducing. D. to reduce. reducing. برافو عليك. بعد consider يجي verb plus ing. Another sentence. You can't talk to him now. He is busy. Space some papers. You can't talk to him now. He is busy. Space some papers. Choices: A. to photocopy. B. photocopied. C. photocopying. D. photocopy. photocopying. Yes. busy followed by تمام. Another sentence. It's no use space with him. He won't be persuaded. لن يقنع يعني. He won't be persuaded. Choices: A. argues. B. arguing. C. to argue. D. argue. arguing. تمام. I don't feel like space now. After all, I am very tired. I don't feel like space now. After all, I am very tired. Choices: A. walked. B. to walk. C. walk. D. walking. بعد feel like we use verb plus ing. Don't forget space me before you go to bed. Don't forget space me before you go to bed. Choices: phoning. phone. to phone. to phoning. to phone. تمام. Another sentence. I remember my father space me to the zoo. I remember my father space me to the zoo. Choices: A. taking. B. take. C. to take. D. talk. I remember my father taking me. أتذكر شيء حدث بالفعل هنا. تمام؟ I remember my father taking me to the zoo. I regret space that your name is not included in the list. I regret space that your name is not included in the list. Choices: A. to say. B. said. C. to saying. D. say. To say. Yes. Let's move to Unit 14. Exercise on vocab. They have authorized space of LE 5000 to each of the victims. They have authorized space of LE 5000 to each of the victims. Victims اللي هم ليه؟ الضحايا. Authorize يعني يعتمد. Choices: A. rewards. B. Medals. C. Prize. C. Awards. Awards, yes. There's been a slight misunderstanding. Slight misunderstanding يعني سوء فهم بسيط. But we have space it up now. We have space it up now. Choices. A. Cleaned. B. Cleared. C. Woke. D. Got. Cleared it up now. Fine lines and space tend to appear around your eyes and mouth as you get older. Fine lines and space tend to يعني يميل إلى tend to appear around your eyes and mouth as you get older. Choices. A. Wrinkles. B. Hairs. C. Waves. D. Caves. Wrinkles. قلنا بمعنى التجاعيد. برافو عليك. 4 years he has spaced his country with a rod of iron. زي ما بنقول كده بعصا من حديد. Rod of iron. 4 years he has spaced his country with a rod of iron. Choices. A. Rolled. B. Ruled. C. Rankled. D. Rated. Ruled. Yes. بمعنى يحكم أو حكم. Yes. Rule يحكم. Another sentence. The army spaced the rebels. Rebels اللي هم المتمردون. The army spaced the rebels after 3 days of fighting. Choices. A. Earned. B. Won. C. Defeated. D. Gained. Defeated. بمعنى هزم. Yes. Another sentence. The space of the play is that friendship is more important than money. Choices. A. Moral. B. Mortal. C. Reason. D. Scene. Moral بمعنى الدرس الأخلاقي. تمام. The space between the rich and the poor is getting wider. Choices. A. Hole. B. Speed. C. Gap. D. Place. The gap بمعنى الفجوة. تمام. Lewis is the author of 13 novels and 10 space books. Lewis is the author of 13 novels and 10 space books. He always describes real events in his works. Choices. A. Imaginary. B. Non-fiction. C. Faction. D. Fiction. Non-fiction. The space was solved when the police discovered the murder weapon. اللي هو سلاح القتل يعني. أو سلاح الجريمة. The space was solved when the police discovered the murder weapon. Choices. A. Result. B. Cause. C. Mystery. D. Clearness. Mystery. The mystery was solved. اللي هو ايه؟ الغموض. يس. حل يعني أو كشف. تمام. The pipeline was constructed to space oil to ports on the coast. The pipeline was constructed to space oil to ports on the coast. Choices. A. Transport. B. Transplant. C. Transmit. D. Translate. Transport. تمام. We aren't having a holiday because of a space of funds. We aren't having a holiday because of a space of funds. Choices: A. Lack. B. Lake. C. Leak. D. Lock. Lack of funds. نقص الايه؟ التمويل. تمام؟ Now space are appearing for witnesses who may have seen anything suspicious last night. Now space are appearing for witnesses who may have seen anything suspicious last night. Choices: A. Editors. B. Guards. C. Detectives. D. Collectors. Detectives اللي هم ليه؟ المخبرين. Yes. Let's go to the grammar section. كان بيتكلم على المودال verbs of necessity, prohibition and lack of necessity. زي ما انت كنت بتسألي من شوية. You space give me a lift. I have got my car outside. You space give me a lift. Give me a lift يعني ايه؟ يعمل لي توصيلة يعني يوصلني يعني. I have got my car outside. Choices: A. Didn't. B. Mustn't. C. Couldn't. D. Oughtn't. Needn't. تمام. لأن أنا قلت I have got my car outside. معايا عربيتي بالخارج. فهنا عدم ضرورة. Lack of necessity. تمام. You space take a taxi. It's raining outside. You space take a taxi. It's raining outside. Choices: had to, or must, or don't have to, or mustn't. Must. Yes, this is a necessity. You space skateboard in the street. Skating in the street is forbidden. You space skateboard in the street. Skating in the street is forbidden. Is forbidden يعني؟ ممنوع. تمام. Choices: A. Mustn't. B. Needn't. C. Shouldn't. D. Couldn't. Mustn't. تمام. This is prohibition. تحريم. Space I have to type these letters now. Space I have to type these letters now. Choices: A. Should. B. Can. C. Must. D. Do. ما ينفعش أقول must I have to. أقول do I have to. استخدم verb to do هنا. أو لو عايز السؤال في الباص كنت قلت did I have to. يعني هل كان لازم أعمل كذا. لكن ما ينفعش أقول must I have to. تمام؟ أقول do I have to or did I have to. تمام يا أمنة؟ أو will I have to لو في الفيوتشر.
يعني فعلا مساعد بس ما have to.
تمام.
لكن لو مفيش have to خد must.
ما ينفعش أقول must وبعدين have to.
تمام.
فأنا بعمل السؤال ما ينفعش أقول must I have to لكن نقول do I have to.
تمام.
Tomorrow is Friday so I space go to school. Tomorrow is Friday so I space go to school. Choices: A. Don't have to. B. Needn't have. C. Won't have to. D. Didn't have to.
Didn't have to.
tomorrow مع الجملة كان فيها tomorrow يوم.
يبقى أول have to.
won't have to. مش لازم أروح المدرسة بكرة الجمعة يبقى so I won't have to go to school. ماشي؟ عدم الضرورة فين؟ في المستقبل. Sorry, I space go now. My bus leaves in a few minutes. Sorry, I space go now. My bus leaves in a few minutes. Choices: A. Have to. B. Had to. C. Didn't. D. Should.
have to.
Have to. تمام. I have to go now. My bus leaves in a few minutes. You space take photographs here. It's against the law. It's against the law. You space take photographs here. It's against the law. Choices: A. Mustn't. B. Shouldn't. C. Can't. D. Couldn't. Mustn't. Another sentence. You space help me with my shopping. You space help me with my shopping. I can manage by myself. يعني أنا أقدر أعمل كده بنفسي. I can manage by myself. Choices: A. Didn't have. B. Must. C. Don't have to. D. Didn't have to.
don't have to.
Don't have to. تمام. Students space late for school. Students space late for school. Choices: A. Mustn't be, or can't be, or shouldn't, or should be,
mustn't be.
or needn't be. Yes, the correct answer is mustn't be. Another sentence. Salah space wear a suit and a tie at work because the manager says so. Salah space wear a suit and a tie at work because the manager says so. Choices: A. Can. B. Shouldn't. C. Has to. D. Doesn't have to.
have to.
Has to. لأن ده necessity. Another sentence. Does Mu'taz space leave so early? Does Mu'taz space leave so early? Choices: A. Have. B. Have to. C. Need. D. Must.
have to.
Have to. تمام. You space leave now. It is still very early. You space leave now. It's still very early. Choices: don't have to, or have to, or must, or mustn't.
don't have to.
Don't have to. Let's move to unit 15. Let's begin with exercise on vocab. A space is a high steep rock or piece of land. Choices: A. Cliff. B. Click. C. Clock. D. Floor.
cliff.
Cliff قلنا بمعنى
منحدر.
منحدر صخري. تمام. Thousands of people space to Cairo from nearby towns every day. Thousands of people space to Cairo from nearby towns every day. Choices: A. Link. B. Connect. C. Commute. D. Conduct.
commute.
Commute قلنا بمعنى
يسافر يوميا.
يسافر يوميا. تمام. This pupil space his name on his desk. Choices: A. Discovered. B. Carved. C. Done. D. Curved.
carved.
Carved قلنا carve بمعنى
ينحت.
ينحت. تمام. They space the building so that the sun illuminates it most of the time. They space the building so that the sun illuminates it most of the time. Choices: A. Positioned. B. Imposed. C. Did. D. Lead. The correct answer is
position.
position. هنا position بمعنى
ويوضع.
يضع أو يتموقع، يأخذ موقع يعني. The team manager still hasn't found the right space of players. Choices: A. Composition, B. Connection, C. Compound, D. Combination.
combination.
بمعنى
خليط أو مجموعة.
توليفة أو خليط، تمام، أو مزيج. People suffer from a space increase in prices. People suffer from a space increase in prices. Choices: A. Massive, B. Mass, C. Mission, D. Mansion.
massive.
Massive increase بمعنى زيادة
ضخم.
ضخمة، ما ننساش التركيب. Massive increase، massive industry. تمام. The crater of the volcano بمعنى فوهة البركان. The crater of the volcano is 100 meters in space, diameter, or height, or weight, or circle. The crater of the volcano. قلنا crater of the volcano فوهة البركان is 100 meters in space. Choices: diameter, or height, or weight, or circle. diameter بمعنى القطر. تمام. The statue stands on a large round space. Choices: the statue اللي هو الايه؟ تمثال. stands on a large round space. Choices: A. base, B. path, C. base, D. both. base. تمام، بمعنى
أساس أو قاعدة.
قاعدة. The light went out, so she bought some candles to space the place. The light went out, so she bought some candles to space the place. Choices: A. illuminated, B. counted, C. illustrated, D. governed. illuminated. تمام. Another sentence. It seems space that one can leave his homeland to his enemy. It seems space that one can leave his homeland to his enemy. Choices: A. good, B. wonderful, C. believable, D. unthinkable. unthinkable. The Great Wall of China is the longest space ever built. The Great Wall of China is the longest space ever built. Choices: A. hill, B. structure, C. skyscraper, D. cave. structure. Another sentence. The increased use of natural gas will help reduce carbon dioxide. help reduce يعني يساعد على تقليل carbon dioxide space, production, emission, or eruption, or escape. emission. هنا emission بمعنى انبعاث. تمام. Another sentence.
العوادم يعني ايه يا يمنى؟
فاكرة العادم؟
أنا كنت بقول على إيه مش دلوقتي.
ها؟ exhaust. تمام. Another sentence. He had space here from a horrible life. He had space here from a horrible life. Choices: A. resulted, B. reserved, C. rescued, D. exported. rescued here. Let's go to the grammar section. They spent the whole day at the sea. The weather space fine. They spent the whole day at the sea. The weather space fine. Choices must have been or must be or can't have been or can't be.
must have been.
Must have been fine. تمام. Perhaps she went home early. She space gone home early. Must have, should have, can't have, or might have.
might have.
Might have. They spaced there. There is a no parking sign. They were fined. Fined هنا بمعنى
يغرب.
غرموا. تمام. They spaced there. There is a no parking sign. They were fined. Choices. A. Shouldn't have parked. B. Mustn't park. C. Can't have parked. D. Might not have parked.
shouldn't have parked.
Shouldn't have parked. تمام. The lights are still on. يعني الأنوار لسه إيه؟ مفتوحة. The lights are still on. Mona space to turn them off. Choices. A. Should forget. Or might forget. Or might have forgotten. Or may forget.
might have forgotten.
Might have forgotten. تمام. The streets are wet. It space have rained last night. The streets are wet. It space have rained last night. Choices. A. Might. B. Must. C. Should. D. Can't.
must.
Must have rained. Another sentence. I rang you this morning, but there was no answer. I rang you this morning, but there was no answer. You space have been asleep. Choices. A. Must. B. Should. C. Can't. D. Mustn't.
must.
Must have been asleep. Another sentence. He is standing outside the house. He space his keys. He is standing outside the house. He space his keys. Choices. A. Must lose. B. Must have lost. C. Can't have lost. D. Should have lost.
must lost.
Must have lost. تمام؟ أكيد فقد مفاتيحه. He is standing outside the house. واقف بخارج المنزل.
طب ليه ما تبقاش مضارع؟ يعني هو لسه يعني فقدها في المضارع.
ما تستخدمي must بلس الانفينيتيف يا يمنى. ده معناها necessity، ضرورة مش استنتاج. يعني ما اقول لك مثلا you must read، ده مش استنتاج، يعني معناها لازم تقري، ده necessity هنا. you must write، لازم تكتبي، ده مش استنتاج، ده ايه؟ necessity، ضرورة او الزام.
ربما يكون قصدها على برضو مثلا must plus infinitive في مستر بتعبر عن probability في البريزنت برضو. he must be tired، هو اكيد يكون تعبان.
تمام.
بس هنا طبعا احنا السياق اللي احنا فيه هنا يومنا هو واقف قدام الباب، اكيد اكيد مفاتيحه ضاعت مش بتضيع.
تمام.
اكيد مفاتيحه ضاعت في الباست.
تمام.
يبقى must have lost.
مش لكن must والانفينيتيف تبقى necessity.
necessity صحيح.
تمام.
وماست بي برضه ممكن تكون.
وبعد اذن استاذ حازم برضه كلامك صح يا امنه، ممكن استخدم ماست بلس انفينيتيف للاستنتاج بس بناء على السياق بتاع الجمله اللي قبلها.
present.
بناء يعني مثلا لو تفتكري قلنا مثلا جمله زي كده he has been living in England for 20 years، عايش في انجلترا بقاله 20 سنه. فاقول he must speak English well. هنا استنتاج بقى. ممكن استخدم must بلس انفينيتيف بس بناء على the previous sentence، الجملة السابقة والسياق بتاع الجملة على بعضها. تمام؟ فهنا ممكن اعملها استنتاج he must speak English well.
يعني هو واقف قدام الباب، يبقى هو عايزه تقولي مثلا هو
لازم يضيع.
احتمال بقى بيضيع كل يوم مفاتيحه مثلا.
اقول لازم يضيع المفاتيح ولا اقول اكيد ضيع المفاتيح؟
أكيد ضيع.
تمام كده، يبقى he must have lost his keys. تمام. Another sentence. عمر space been at home last night. I'm not sure. Might have. Should have. Must have. Can't have.
might have.
Might have. تمام. Ali's exam results space sometimes they are very good but sometimes they are quite bad. Ali's exam results space sometimes they are very good but sometimes they are quite bad. Choices: A. Vary. B. Prove. C. Declare. D. Show.
very.
Vary. قلنا بمعنى
يتنوع.
يتنوع. I don't understand the space between who and which. I don't understand the space between who and which. Choices: A. Modification. B. Qualification. C. Distinction. D. Operation.
distinction.
Distinction. بمعنى
الاختلاف.
تمام.
difference يعني.
Mobile phones space all the time. They were large, then very small, and now some of them are large again. Choices: A. Evolve. B. Involve. C. Revolve. D. Regain.
evolve.
Evolve قلنا بمعنى
يتطور تدريجيا.
يتطور. تمام. At the end of the film, I think that the detective well space the mystery of who was responsible for the crime. Choices: A. Clear up. B. Get up. C. Come round. D. Climb up.
clear up.
Clear up بمعنى قلنا
يوضح.
يوضح. برافو عليك. That team never lose. They are space for more than a year. That team never lose. They are space for more than a year. Choices: A. Gaining. B. Defeating. C. Scoring. D. Earning.
scoring.
Never lose. They are gaining for more than a year.
هي مش جاية يمكن معنوي.
أو بمعنى يكسب أيضا. تمام؟
تمام.
The room was very noisy and Ali found it hard to space on his work. Choices: A. Concentrate. B. Perform. C. Educate. D. Do.
concentrate.
Concentrate on بمعنى
يركز.
يركز على. My grandmother always feels space for her grandchildren when we are away from home. My grandmother always feels space for her grandchildren when we are away from home. Choices: A. Concern. B. Happiness. C. Kindness. D. Comfort.
concern.
Concern قلنا بمعنى
اهتمام.
اهتمام. برافو عليك.
كنت عاوز أسأل مستر أحمد بخصوص يمنى بتقول جين معنوي، كنت يعني تقصد إيه هي يمنى؟ كنت تقصدي بإيه إنه كلمة جين تأتي مع المعنوي؟
يعني مثلا information knowledge كده.
knowledge
gain knowledge gain information.
yes.
بس ممكن تمشي مع حاجات مادية برضه.
بس ممكن weight يعني gain
weight وgain speed وgain time. تمام.
تمام.
الحاجات ديت ممكن تاخد جين أيضا.
ما لهاش
تمام.
يعني حكم ثابت يعني.
هي حسب الاكسبريشنز اللي معاها.
طيب هو أنا بعتذر يعني لكم ولكل المستمعين الذين يستمعون إلينا الآن، حيث انتهت يعني فترتنا. شكرا لك يمنى، شكرا جزيلا، بنشكرك ونتمنى لك كل التوفيق إن شاء الله يمنى. أعزائي المستمعين، أيضا أشكر الأستاذ أحمد عبد الصبور. شكرا لك أستاذ أحمد.
شكرا أستاذ.
ونتمنى يعني أن تكون لقاءاتنا وفتراتنا مثمرة ومفيدة لكل أبنائنا وبناتنا الطلاب والطالبات. إلى هنا أعزائي المستمعين، أبنائي وبناتي طلاب وطالبات الثانوية العامة، نصل وإياكم إلى ختام هذا اللقاء والفترة المفتوحة. أستاذ على الهواء في اللغة الإنجليزية للثانوية العامة. سعدنا بأن كنا معكم خلال هذا اللقاء. من الهندسة الإذاعية الزميل محمد جمال الدين، ومن أمام الميكروفون حازم عمر. إلى اللقاء.